Hello and welcome to Ginny's Gin Livestream. This is our 7th in our series of cocktail making, and it seems as though summer is officially around the corner. Here's Rob, my husband.
Smiling.
I guess some people thought that Rob wasn't smiling enough. Oh no, don't do that one. Okay, so it's June, and as some of our social distancing gathering is more and more allowed, we thought we would do a couple of cocktails that would be good for a crowd. The first cocktail I'm going to do is Picture Perfect. It's probably one of my favourite gin cocktails for the summer. It's very refreshing, and it's also, you know, quintessentially British, and they are making me laugh over here because they're being really silly. Okay, so it's the Pimm's cup. This is going to be Ginny's Gin's Pimm's cup. So the original Pimm's that is marketed, you can just buy the Pimm's and add it with lemonade or what have you, and it's very simple. But it's kind of fun to make your own. So I'm going to show you how to make your own homemade Pimm's. So the original one was invented by a gentleman called James Pimm's. This was in the 1840s. And he was an esteemed landlord at an oyster bar in the city of London. He marketed it as a health tonic, as a... Oh, Jack just walked into the wall. Maybe he's been drinking Pimm's. As an aid to digestion. So basically it's a mixture of gin and bitters, quinine, and it's basically a mash of different herbs, and it's a closely guarded secret, still to this day. So as it got more and more popular in his bar, he then, you know, put it in a bottle and started to selling it all over the place. And then as the British Empire, you know, put its fingers out to all these different places, he was selling it, the Pimm's, in all these other countries as well. So he served it in a tankard in his bar, and hence it's called the Pimm's cup. So I actually have my own history with drinking Pimm's and even making Pimm's. When we were in college, we used to make vast quantities of it in the bathtub. So definitely a bathtub gin thing. And of course it was responsible for a lot of very silly behaviour, I do believe. So Pimm's itself is sort of the official drink of one of the, or a few of the rather posh events that go on in England during the summer. There's Ascot, they sell jugs and jugs of it obviously there, and then there's Henley, the Royal Regatta. They sell that in actually in pint mugs, so, and that's about 16 ounces, and a few of those are, you know, off to the races, so to speak. And then I think it's also at the Chelsea Royal Flower Show, and of course Wimbledon. And I do believe that Wimbledon sells 340,000 glasses of Pimm's over the course of the event. Okay, so I've actually, you know, there's a bunch of different recipes that I played around with. This is the one that I like the best. It's super simple. What you're going to do is, let's move this over here. I'm going to take a big jar. It's a big mason jar, basically. And we're going to take a navel orange and just cut it up. We're going to slice it up. I've washed it. We're going to keep the peel. And this is all going to go in the bottom of the mason jar. So let's get that in there. There we go. So we just had our first cucumbers in the garden, and there's nothing like the smell of cucumber and mint and strawberry and orange, obviously. That makes me think of Pimm's, obviously. So there's that. Hi Zaza, hi Jana. I can actually see my face in here. Okay, so the orange goes in, and then we're going to pour in all the different liquors. So I've actually measured them out already. So this is 14 ounces of Ginny's Gin. We're going to pour that all in there. There we go. There was one recipe that called for a really nice simple syrup that had lemon verbena and mint, and it was really lovely, but I found it to be a bit too sweet, so I didn't end up with that particular recipe. 7 ounces of sweet vermouth, red vermouth. This one is Morin, but there's Martini Rosso, there's Dolin, whatever you have in the cabinet. There's your sweet vermouth. 7 ounces of that. And obviously we're making a nice big batch here for a crowd of people, but what you can do is you Take this and we're just going to seal it up, and it will last through the summer. Now, it won't last through the summer in this household. It will last, a couple of days probably, but just know that you can seal it up and it will last all the way through the summer. I mean, some recipes say that it'll last for a year. So, okay, now Cointreau, 3.5 ounces of Cointreau or any kind of orange liqueur. There we go. There's that, 3.5 ounces. And last but not least, the Campari. Some are called for Aperol, but I had Campari in the bar, so I'm using Campari. And that's 2 ounces of Campari. And we throw that in there. Now, this one particular recipe called for bitter orange peel, and they don't sell it in most stores, but you can find it at like a brewer's or a winemaking store. I didn't have any on hand, but what I did have is orange bitters made by Phaedra at Flora Luna Apothecary. Have a drink. So I'm going to use a few of her, just a few dashes of her orange bitters, just to give it that bitter orange. And of course you're going to get the flavour from the oranges being soaked as well. So we're going to give that a little shake. It really is as simple as that. And then you're going to let that sit for 24 to 72 hours, depending on how quickly you need it, but certainly leave it for a day. And then what you'll do is you'll strain out the oranges, and if you had the bitter orange in there as well, just strain it out, put it in the fridge, or you can leave it at room temperature as well. Just keep it sealed, and you can use it over the course of the summer, or if you're obviously entertaining a few people, 6 feet apart, then you can use the whole thing. So the ratio, once you have the base, so that's sort of the Pimm's cup, the homemade Pimm's cup base. The ratio generally with the Pimm's cup cocktail is 1 of the base to 3 of the, so in this case I'm using Sprite, but some people use 7-Up, or some people even use, what's the bitter one? The ginger ale. So your choice, obviously. I'm going to put it in a tall cup. And what we use in England, the garnishes that we use is cucumber. So you can make a nice slice of that. However you want to do it, you can pop that around the glass like that. Something like, there we go. That's it. And then a few ice cubes.
With your ice cube tongs?
With my ice cube tongs, yeah. We are drinking at home, darling, so it's fine. Okay, so this is one that I did a few days ago, and so I'm going to pour in, as I say, it's a sort of 3-to-1 ratio, but I would do it, let's see, I would go about up to there. You can do 1-to-1 as well, depending on how strong you want the drink. That's up to you, obviously. And then we're going to put the 7-Up or the Sprite in there, fill that up. Very refreshing. So one of the things that you can do also is you can substitute in sparkling wine, Prosecco, for this bubbly, and that makes it a Pimm's Royale. It is rather strong, and a couple of those will definitely get the party started. And we have had friends who've had to go to bed early because they had too many Pimm's Royale. But okay, so you've got the cucumber in there, smells great. And then we'll do a little strawberry, like that. And then the mint, which I love, in here. And then even a slice of orange as well. You just throw in what you have in, any beautiful fresh fruits, veggies and what have you. You can just throw that in there. There we go. But those are sort of the quintessential, the orange, the mint, the strawberry, and the cucumber. So there it is. That's the Pimm's cup. One of, okay, there we go. Right, that's the homemade Ginny's Gin Pimm's cup. I will post the recipe on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, have to have the British coaster. There we go, paper coaster. And Rob now is, I'm going to clear out. Rob is going to make his own party trick. He's got his own party trick. I'm going to have Rob come on in now and make the next one for us. Thanks, Rob. Let's put this over here. I will figure out a way for that. Hold on.
Just put it right here.
Yeah, okay. And I'll plug it in for you too.
It's all plugged in.
Oh, it is. Okay, great. Cheers, everyone. Okay.
Okay, hi. So Ginny asked me to make like a party drink, like something that you can do in. Actually, what was the theme?
Picture perfect. So whether you can
Picture.
put it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is a blender drink that I do, and I think you know, all the drinks, whether it's a daiquiri or whether like today I'm making a gimlet. The problem is that when you add a bunch of ice, you really don't know how much dilution you're going to have, and it's really hard to make the drink not get too watery. So one of the tricks is to, you want to grab my bag out of the freezer?
Mm-hmm.
Is to you know, mix your water, which would be the amount of dilution that you wanted, and then your booze, which in this case is Ginny's gin, and then your simple syrup. And then if you use the ratios correctly and you make it last night, this is 4 drinks pre-made. I call it Ginny's Gin Blender Sour, but it's basically a frozen gimlet. And so everything is in this drink except for the lime juice. So you can make, you know, 10 of these bags up, so that way you'd have 40 drinks if you had, you know, some thirsty friends come over. 10 thirsty friends, 4 drinks each, not that much.
In our house.
Yeah, and then so basically all you need to do is throw this in the blender along with the lime juice, and then boom, you got the drink. So I'm gonna do that in a second, but before I do that, I'm gonna build a new drink. So so basically, have you seen my glasses, black ones? Oh, Ginny, before we started, she said, "I got your glasses." She was talking about these, and of course now I can't see because I thought she got my glasses. So it's okay, I can do without it. So basically this. Ooh, where's the gin?
Right over here, honey.
Boy. Okay, so this recipe is 8 ounces of filtered water, which is a cup, and then 8 ounces of gin, which is also a cup. So I got to get to the 2 cup line, which is 16 ounces, right? So
Well,
you
I'll
get
get down there.
8 ounces and 8 ounces. So there it is, right there. And you can use you know, anything in between 80 to 90 proof with these ratios, and you'll end up with a slushy in the freezer, and it won't freeze all the way because of the booze. So these are the proper ratios. So you got 8 ounces of each of those, and then it's gonna be.
Hi, Simon.
Where's the measuring cup? There it is. All my stuff was on the side.
Rob's not very organised today, it seems.
Oh no, I was organized. It's just that Ginny spread out on the table.
Evidently, I was taking up too much of the table.
Okay, and then so you got 8 ounces of filtered water, 8 ounces of gin, 3 ounces of simple syrup, which is half sugar, half water, a cup of each, is how you make simple syrup. And I like to put, for each drink, and this is 4 drinks in a blender, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drops of salt. And then, and this is the concoction. That's it. And then we just need a new bag, and we dump this in the bag, throw it in the freezer. You could make 10 of these, and then you have 40 drinks. You put it in the freezer, and it's ready to roll the next day. So this is going to go into a plastic bag, and this is for tomorrow's 4 blender gimlets.
Okay, do you want to take that up?
So, I mean, we can pour it in a bag after.
Okay.
And then now, through the magic of science, look how quickly that froze. So basically, I have my blender just off to the side here, is you just chuck the whole thing in the blender. And when your friends are over, you don't want to spend a lot of time, you know, making drinks. You want to spend your time with your friends. Or if you're like me, you'd probably rather spend your time making drinks.
Happens.
Yeah. So there it is. It's in the blender. And then all we're going to do is we're going to add the lime juice. And in this case, it's 3.5. So you got 8 ounces of gin, 8 ounces of water, 8 drops of saline solution, 3 ounces of simple syrup. And then we're going to go for 3 3/4 ounces of lime, which should be, you know, somewhere around.
Do you need the squeezer?
I got one.
Okay.
Somewhere around 3 or 4 limes. So let's just see how we get with 3 limes and see if we get there. It's probably going to take a 4th one, but... So, strained lime juice. And because these are the generous sized limes, I'm going to use a lemon squeezer through a strainer. And I don't know if anybody can tell, but it's been 3 months without a haircut for me.
And
So-
that's why I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Actually, no,
I
it's
almost
an
wore a
honoured
hat. I almost wore a hat as well.
You wear a hat?
Yeah, a baseball hat.
Cool.
So, and actually, I mean, I could have done this in advance. And lemons, when you make a drink, are really, really good to be used immediately. And they really do degrade relatively quickly in terms of their flavor. Limes have a little bit of a different window. 3 or 4 hours before you need your drink, they'll taste better than when they're freshly squeezed. But then they start to degrade after about 4 hours. So I was going to do that, but then I thought, well, my cocktail would be over so quickly that it made more sense to just do it on the fly. So there you go. So we're going to go, there's 2 ounces in the blender. And yeah, we got the 3 3/4 right there, even a little bit extra to go. So 3 3/4. Check it in the blender. It doesn't really take very long to blend it up because it's already a blended slush. And so then.
Oh, so Rob in this case has used lime, but if your lemons are really good, you could do a lemon one instead.
You could do a
right?
lemon drink with the exact same ratios and call it a frozen Tom Collins.
Yeah.
So sorry, honey, but I just need to have a little room here to do this properly. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then just.
Are the children drinking the other 2?
Well, you know, you wanted me to make a blender batch drink, and so this happens to be a 4 batch. You could cut it in half and do 2 at a time, or you could, there was room in here, you could actually double this up and do 8 at a time. And that's what's so cool about the 4 bag trick, is that if you had 10 of those, like we talked about earlier, in the freezer, and then all of a sudden you have 8 friends and everybody wants another drink, 2 bags in.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah.
One of the things I did want to mention as you put your limes on there is that if you want, once as we have more social distance gathering, you can put you can put the Pimms in a nice pitcher like this. But I wouldn't add the bubbly until you're putting it in the glass. I would put this in with some ice, and then because you don't want it to like dilute or get. Here we go. That's it. Great. Thank you. So that's how I would do that. All right.
I just
excellent.
Yeah, I can't tell what that looks like because all the dialogue is in the part of the phone where the drinks are.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
So anyway, so there's our blender drinks.
Excellent. Happy summer, everybody. Enjoy this. We've had this amazing heat wave. Our parks and our beaches and our pools now are opening up as well.
Starting tomorrow, we can swim laps.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sanity back. Oh my God, it's been tough. All right, one of those and one for me. We're going to do our cheers. We'll put the recipes on.
One for you, 2 for me.
Indeed. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week on Saturday. And happy summer.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
That's good.
Yum. Okay.
That's better than a daiquiri.
Yes. With all the dialogue, I don't know how to.
I know, because it would be cool if we could see what people were saying as we go, but